Hello, superheroes and supervillains. It's your friend Sean PVS 101. Welcome back to a brand new video on my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing very phenomenal today. And today's brand new video I'm gonna make on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna make a brand new movie review on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna do a brand new movie review on my YouTube channel that I'm gonna review and revisiting after almost 15 years. And that movie is Igor. Yes, I'm going to do a movie review on Igor. This movie came out in the year 2008, the same year as Bolt, WALL-E, and Kung Fu Panda. And don't forget Madagascar too. So yeah, Igor came out in 2008 and directed by Tony Leitch. Yes, Igor was directed by Tony Leitch, the same director as the Emoji Movie. We don't want to talk about that piece of crap. Anyways, so the plot for the movie Igor, we focus on a young inventor / Igor named, of course, Igor, who lives in the evil, dark city place, covered in dark evilness. So yeah, Igor wants to become an evil inventor, to go join the evil science fair competition. But then suddenly, when his evil master invention goes horribly wrong, his whole body exploded because he left with this robotic hand. But then Igor needs to solve this problem, don't want to show it to the mayor in this evil town. But then he has little backup buddies named Scramper, and Brian. Yes, one of Igor's sidekicks buddies. While Igor, Scamper, and Brian had to invent Igor's invention, but then the invention has turned out to be his creation named Eva, but turned out to be a woman like Frankenstein monster. But then later on in the movie, she turns to this blind, beautiful actress lady the whole time. Now she wants to become a star like Annie, who thought she wants to be supposed to be like a play like Annie throughout the film. While Igor wants to try to pretend this to be like a play show coming up a couple of days, now it's up with Igor and wants to hide, don't want to tell the truth on Eva. But meanwhile, there's some random villains named Dr. Charlevoix and Heidi and his Igor thing trying to kidnap Igor's creation to join the science fair project. That's the plot for this movie. So after I watched Igor on Netflix last night, yes, I revisit Igor last night on Netflix. And what do you think about the movie overall? The movie, well, it's not that perfect. I know this film, it's not that terrible. I like the film. I really like Igor overall as a film, but it's not that perfect. Why is it not perfect? Because it's not terrible. I don't hate Igor. It's not bad as that. It wasn't that horrible film on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie got probably a 39% Rotten Tomatoes for Igor, but I don't hate Igor. I liked Igor, but I didn't not love it a lot that I used to remember this film. I watched this movie back in probably growing up in the early 2010s when I watched this film. I loved this film, but when I grow older, when I try to revisit this movie, if there's any flaws and issues, that's why I become more analyzed and try to pick something what's wrong with the movie. I don't hate Igor. I like the movie overall. I still like Igor as a film, but I didn't not love it a lot that I used to remember. It's not terrible, but has some problems. So yeah, let's begin the story. The story for this movie is basically Igor wants to become an inventor like his master, but then his master died, but he wants to create his own invention, join the science fair with his little sidekicks. But then it turned out to be the whole movie turned out to be this Frankenstein-like woman. But then she wants to, because of during the brainwash scene, when Brian accidentally goes to the brainwash thing, but then the mode changed and they switch modes and the TV turned into become a actress throughout the film. So yeah, the story was pretty okay. Not perfect, not horrible, but pretty solid what it is. I do like the film. I do like some nice clever moments. I do like some nice heartwarming moments between Eva and Igor become friends and later on romance stuff. I'll admit that's pretty adorable. I do like some nice heartwarming moments between Igor and Eva. I'll admit, Eva as a character was the heart of the movie. I do like her as a character. I'll admit she has adorable moments when she sings becoming like a star like Annie while seeing the sun come out tomorrow. I'll admit that's pretty adorable. I love Eva as a character. So yeah, the story, well, not the best written story for a movie, but I'll admit it's pretty decent at best. So yeah, as for my thoughts on the animation was pretty good. I'll admit it doesn't hold up after 15 years later because this film came out in 2008, made by the distributor of MGM. The animation, however, it's not the worst animation I've seen. It's not as bad as Norm of the Norm and Food Fight. I don't want to watch those movies, how bad these animation are. But as for my thoughts on the animation on Igor, it's good. Not great animation, but it has some creativeness. I love the character designs, the models from the characters. It kind of gave me this Tim Burton-ish vibe and Despicable Me vibe because I think the animation kind of gave me major vibes of Tim Burton-ish, like Night Before Christmas, Corpse Bride, and Frankenweenie, and a major Despicable Me vibes with this like illumination-ish, like cartoony-ish, like little big shape heads and big bodiness. You know what I mean. I kind of get me vibes of that animation. So yeah, also the backgrounds. I like the backgrounds when we focus on this like dark, vicious like town. We focus on the mayor who wants to create the whole town evil and dark. But then later on, when Igor trying to go up the tower, you see the sun bright and beautiful. But I love the visuals in the backgrounds. They look so gorgeous and creative. I thought the animators of Igor did a good job. Also, the humor is not that interesting. I'll admit the humor kind of works. Nothing else. There's some hit or miss humor. I don't hate it, but it was okay. Also, for my thoughts on the characters, I do like some characters. Like they have a good personality. Like I do like Igor in this movie. I do like Igor wants to be a real evil scientist because he wants to be like his hero, Dr. Shaunavoy, aka the main villain. I do like Igor as a character. He's very interesting and likable. I know he can be a bit of a jerk sometimes, but he wants to be an evil scientist. The focus be evil, but later on he has a heart to Eva. Also, speaking of Eva, I do like Eva as a character who's this naive, kind-spirited character who wants to become a star like an actress, and she wants to join a play called Annie, which she wants to become a star. I do like Eva as a character, she's a very nice, likable character. Also, we have two comic reliefs. We have Skipper and Brian. I'll admit, I do like Skipper as not Skipper from Madagascar. Scrapper from the movie, from Igor, my wrong character, but Scrapper, the rabbit, who was this ugly, like, rabbit character who dies a lot and kills a lot, but then come back to life. I'll admit, Steve Buscemi, who voiced this character, did a good job. Also, we have Brian, Brain. We have Brain, who is this robot-like brain character. Because of he wrote in his jar, he spelled the word Brian in wrong name. So I like Brian as a character. He has some pretty good humor. Also, I just really love Brian and Scrapper and Igor's friendship. Wanted to focus on evil invention stuff. I'll admit, it was pretty fun. Also, as for the thoughts on the villain side, the villains are kind of weak, in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion, the weakest element has to be the villains. The villains are pretty generic and forgettable, especially the mayor character. The mayor character is just there to be evil and trying to get rid of Igor. That's basically the character. Also another one's like Dr. Shaunavoy, and Dr. Shaunavoy wasn't that impressive as a villain, but not horrible, but a little forgettable. I'll admit I kind of like him as a character. I do like his little like Russian accent. Hi, Dave. I'll admit, he's pretty kind of enjoyable. But as for his sidekick character, Heidi wasn't that impressive. Heidi can be a bit of a bitchy brat sometimes. Because of her, I wasn't a fan of her design because her Heidi's design looks really weird. Not bad, but weird. She looks like a Lala Loopsy doll on acid. So yeah. Also, her transformation when she transformed a woman out of a woman, I'll admit that's pretty cool creative animation. Also, when she becomes a German like disguised character, she looks like a character came out of Hoodwinked. So yes, let's talk about another thing I love about the animation of Igor. Let's talk about the animation again. Overall, I still love the animation. Well, not the best animation from Igor. I'll admit, while the backgrounds and the character designs are pretty good, but I do love some of the cool designs on the evil science fair inventions while trying to fight them while saying when the sun come out tomorrow. I do love the climax of the movie. I do love the animation designs on the evil science fair invention creatures. They look so amazing. We focus on the little green blob-like flubber thing. We focus on this evil heavy light bulb laser, this little teddy bear robotic machine, and this green dragon thing, this whole robotic skull thing. Especially my favorite one has to be this flying gargoyle vehicle thing. That is a very creative thing. I'll give this movie some credit. All the science fair creatures from the evil science fair has some very creativity moments, especially in the climax scene. I thought the animators who designed those creatures give a good job with this film. So yeah, also the climax was pretty good. I'll admit, I do like the climax. The climax is a pretty good thing I like about this film. Probably my favorite part of the movie. We focus on the battle of the evil science fair while Eva's trying to sing a musical from Annie. I'll admit that's a pretty good scene overall. It has some intense moments and has a little humor and heart. I'll admit, I like this climax. Overall, while Igor wasn't that perfect, I'll admit, while revisiting this movie, I do not hate it right now. I'll admit, I'd rather watch Igor over the Emoji Movie any day. Yes, I'd rather take Igor over the god-awful The Emoji Movie because of the same director, but I'd rather watch Igor over The Emoji Movie, which we don't talk about that other crap. Igor's an okay movie. It's good. Not great, not perfect, good. Just good. Also, some issues like the villain characters. I'll admit the villain's characters are the weakest part of the movie. They didn't bother me. They didn't anger me. They're just there to be evil. Overall, I don't hate Igor right now. I like Igor as a movie, but didn't love it as much as I used to love. But I still like this movie overall. With nice storytelling, pretty decent mixed characters, very creative animation, and a very cool and awesome climax. I'll admit the climax is really awesome. Overall, Igor, and also the soundtrack for Igor is pretty good. Nothing else. Overall, I like this movie, didn't love it. I give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. It's not the best movie I've ever seen. It's not my favorite animated movie, but it's a solid movie to watch, especially during the Halloween time. While that's for my movie review on Igor, subscribe to my channel, comment down below with this movie. Did you love it or hate it? Comment down below and stay tuned for more and get totally wicked.